All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm sorry we not throwing a normal roll-in intro, but we're gonna have another great show scheduled. It's our 35th show of 2021, and we got three great guests lined up, and we got two other co-hosts, and Johnny's going to be popping in. He tried to get in, and he had spotty internet, and hopefully he'll be back. But anyway. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see everybody in the chat. And I'll let you read off the names, Matty. You're pretty good at that, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Brad loves doing that. Brad, what do you say,
that's
bud?
fine. That's
Let her
fine.
rip.
Hey, wanted to say hi to everybody. I see RI Drone guys in the house. We got Johnny. Johnny's actually in the house. He's in the chat. And hopefully he'll make an appearance on the show this evening. I know he's got some spotty cell service, so we'll see what we can do to get him in. Let's see. Tomas is in. How you doing? John Olson. We have Chuck from Covation. Dronography. We got Eddie Nunez will be coming in here shortly. He's in the chat. But let's see who else. Doc Murdoch. Chris, you're in the house. Thanks for coming by. And that looks like that's about everybody for now. Thanks for stopping by the show, folks.
I mean, it's always good to see everybody. We know you could have better places to be on a Wednesday night, but we appreciate you following the Fly for Fun show. And we try to bring in interesting guests every week. And
wait a minute, Ray, I'm gonna have to differ with you on that. This is the best place to be on a Wednesday night.
Well, thanks, Fred. I appreciate that. But that's what it's all about, is getting out there, fly for fun. I know a lot of you guys have your Part 107 licenses already, and that's great. And I wish you all the success in your businesses, flying your drones. And tonight we have a great guest, and that's Greg Reverdiau of Pilot Institute. And I'm going to bring Greg in right now, and he's going to tell us all about himself and Pilot Institute. And it just so happens that's where I got my trust certificate from. Pilot.
Same here. Same here.
Me as well.
So
I don't have my
Greg in right now. Welcome, Greg.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Really excited.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
Awesome.
I tell you, it's a pleasure to have you. And I first heard about you when I first got involved with drones. And I wasn't ready to take any type of courses. I watched a lot of videos online and learned that way. And I did have a personal instructor for, 2 sessions. But then I decided to use you for my trust, the Pilot Institute.
And we decided to trust Greg.
And I learned a lot more. Just taking that little test in class. And I would like you to tell the viewers how you got involved with drones and Pilot Institute, or whatever else you want to share with the viewers.
You bet. Well, we've got 2 hours, right? So
1 hour, but that's okay.
No, just kidding.
He's changing the show on us.
Hell yes.
Well, I really appreciate having me on the show. I really have a passion for anything that flies, not just drones. I started as a manned aircraft pilot, still do. I'm a flight instructor. I'm a commercial pilot on the manned side. And drones became a thing. I remember being in meetings, used to work for a university, and being in meetings at the university and telling them, hey, we need to do something with drones because these drones, it's up and coming and this is going to be big. And this is a decade ago. This is before we even had DJI or DJI was on the map. And I remember I had a boss at the time. And he was amazing. He was an astronaut. And, I don't know how many people can say that their boss was an astronaut, had gone to space, had been on a space shuttle. But, man, he was a manned aircraft guy. He wanted to fly aircraft and be in the aircraft, but he did not believe in drones. And I kept saying, we need to get drones in there. We need to get a drone program. And it never happened. And eventually I moved. I went to a different place. And when I was there, drones were becoming more of a thing. This was 2014. And I bought my first DJI drone, DJI Phantom 1, We had a GoPro on there. You couldn't see what the GoPro was seeing at the time, so you were always kind of shooting in the dark. You would buy the Chinese gimbal, and then there was an add-on. There was no gimbal at the time, and you just put your camera on there and go and try to get footage as much as you could. And I realized there was not a whole lot of places you could get information back then, and I get in trouble. And I haven't really told the story a whole lot, but I think it's very telling of where we were at the time. I live close to the Grand Canyon. I live in Arizona. I'm about an hour away from the Grand Canyon. And I said, this would be an amazing place to fly a drone and get some footage. So I go to the north side of the Grand Canyon. Now, mind you, this is 2014 and 2013 maybe. And I take out the drone, I fly up, I record, and then I land. And then I'm driving back to go to the campsite, and then there is the local guard, a park ranger that's behind me with his lights on and pulls me over. And he said, "We got a report of someone flying a drone." And I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea you couldn't fly a drone. And I'm a flight instructor and I'm a commercial pilot, and here I am flying a drone. And at the time, there were no signs. It wasn't a big deal. Nobody really knew what you could do and couldn't do. Part 107 didn't even exist. And so I get in trouble. I actually get a ticket for flying my drone at the Grand Canyon. And I was like, there's got to be a better way to get information. So I went on their website. I went on the NPS website. Couldn't find anything. No information. I said, "Where do you post this stuff?" He said, "Well, it's on the website." It wasn't. So kind of from there, I get an idea that there could be a way to help educate people. And with my background in flight training and with my my love of anything that flies, I started creating courses online. And eventually we came up with the idea with my business partner of creating a Pilot Institute and make this an actual venture and an actual business. So ever since, it's been crazy. We've hit 100,000 students a couple of weeks ago. Wow. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, we've essentially become the largest online drone training provider in the country right now. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I haven't worked a day in probably 3 or 4 years now because I love what I do every single day. So that's the short story.
It's a great story.
It's definitely an interesting story, and I hear nothing but good things about Pilot Institute. You talk to different drone pilots and, they're familiar with you. I spoke to somebody today. I don't know if he's in the chat yet. Rob Kamada. He said that he took your course and, he thought it was very, very thorough. And it helped him with Part 107.
Yeah, and this is what we do. I look around and I saw that there were a lot of other Part 107 courses, but all of them were so focused on teaching you to just pass the test. And I've seen this attitude in the manned aircraft world for a long time, just wanting to pass the test. But it's not the way that I think it needs to be done. You need to be able to be proficient at what you do. And so we designed this course to be twice as long as pretty much everybody else, not on purpose. It happened to be what I think you need to learn in order to be safe to fly. So that's kind of our motto, that we're pretty much the only company out there that teaches to proficiency and not to just pass the test. And we've been getting amazing results. And I think that's what you hear from people that take the test. They're like, wow, I actually learned something along the process, and I can answer any questions on the thing. I see Johnny joined us.
Johnny.
Great. Yeah, I want to welcome Johnny.
And I'm internet, and I don't have internet. I have cell service. I'm just listening. Thanks everybody for filling in. Ray and Greg, it's nice to meet you. And of course, Brad, I talked to you early. Matty, love y'all, man.
Love you too, buddy.
Love you, man.
Hopefully, things are getting a little better down there for you, and if there's anything we can do, all you got to do is reach out and call or text, and we'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got a little story about that later, Ray. Bring that up before the end of the show about being there.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think
looks like we lost him again.
I think he froze up, but that's okay.
Yep.
So Greg, I didn't want to interrupt you, but maybe you could tell us, just explain, because I know there's plenty of people that still don't have the trust certificate. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, this is a new thing. So trust stands for the Recreational Uas Safety Test. And this came out at the end of June, if I remember correctly. The months have been blurred last couple of months. But this is a very simple test. And the way that I like to explain it is, It's free. It's going to take you about 15 minutes to complete, and you can't fail the test. It's free education. In a way, I hate that the FAA, and it's not their fault, calls it a test, because that's really not what it is. It's training. This should be the T at the end of trust should be training, because, well, the FAA realized, hey, a lot of people get a drone, they unpack the drone, and then they want to go fly it. Well, there's a little bit more to it than just taking it out, charging the battery, and getting up. So they want you to have a basic understanding of basic regulation. So this trust training is designed to give you just that. It's not very long. There's a quick test that you have to take, but like I said, you can't fail. If you pick the wrong question, if you pick the wrong answer, we'll tell you, hey, this is not correct. Give us another answer, and then make sure that you understand what you got wrong. And then at the end of it, you get a certificate like you were showing, Ray, and then you print that certificate, and then you're good to go. That's all the FAA really wants you to do. So, yep, exactly, right there. And there's about a dozen training providers. We're one of them, approved by the FAA to do this. We spend a lot of time trying to make it as simple as possible. And this is kind of our motto: aviation training made easy. This is what we do. And we try to make it as simple on the user. Just log in, create your account, do the training, and then you're done. And you never have to do it again. It's a one-time and done, and print that certificate. That's it. So 15 minutes of your life to learn something about drones and fly safely.
You cannot fail it either. It is a no-fail test.
It's so easy.
And it's really a good thing. I'm glad that the FAA, sort of passed this, and, it's a good thing. A lot of people, like you said, they just get a drone, start flying it, and that's not good.
Now, I want to add something. A lot of people have questions about their data and what happens to their data. And I can tell you, as a trust provider, the only thing that we collect and we provide to the FAA, we're the one collecting the data, and we're the one providing it to the FAA every month. All we give them is that number, that's randomly generated number. For us, it starts with easy. That's the 4 letters that we were allowed by the FAA to use. So all of our certificates start with easy and then a randomized number. This is the only thing that we send to the FAA. This is the only thing that we collect. We don't even have your name. We were talking about this offline. I don't know if you took the test. I don't know who took the test. I just know how many people took the test. We just did 30,000. We just hit 30,000 trust certificates issued. And that's it. That's all the data that the FAA gets, just that number. So if they look it up, they'll know that somebody took the test. They don't know that it's your name or not. They'll be able to match it to your certificate, and that's it. So if people are getting worried that data is being collected, it's not, because we provide the information to the FAA.
That's good to know. Very good to know.
I want to add something to that as well, to make sure folks realize when they do this trust test, whether they do it with Pilot Institute or somewhere else, make sure you print that out, write down your number, or download it, get the PDF sent to your email address, store it somewhere, because as soon as you leave that site, you no longer can retrieve that number.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we're not allowed. The FAA does not allow us to keep the certificate. So for us, the system is designed, as soon as we issue that certificate, it automatically deletes your account. So we can't even go back and find it. We have no idea what happened. So you may have to redo the training if you didn't do it. I'm glad you mentioned that, Brad.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, I just want to let you know, Johnny put in a comment, and I really don't know how to bring it up on the screen, but he wants to thank you for supplying the free registration numbers for your drones. And, maybe you want to tell people about that also.
Yeah,
a lot of people
absolutely. Well, we're happy to do this. And this idea started, quite frankly, because every day, we answer probably over 100 different questions. We have a chat box, we have a phone line, and we have Mark, who's our student services manager, that answers all these questions every single day. And every day we have somebody that says, I registered my drone and I paid $50 or I paid $60 to register the drone. And that's not right, because the registration is $5. It can only be done in one location, which is on the FAA Drone Zone website. And if you pay $30 to $50, then you get in the wrong spot and somebody took your money. Now, they may have registered your drone or not. We don't really know. You don't know that the FAA actually got that information. So we decided to start this campaign, and we wanted to bring awareness to people of these schemes that are going on. And that's what the FAA calls them. They're FAA registration schemes, and they warn people not to fall for them. And we wanted to bring awareness. So the way that we did it is by providing these free stickers. So you don't have to go and pay for a sticker, pay for registration, and then all you get, there you go. You get a series of stickers. We send you actually a really cool, it's called Flight Club sticker that we put on here as well. We give you
got it on my laptop. I got it on my laptop.
I thought I saw that on your laptop earlier.
Yep.
So we have an amazing designer. He built this. Actually, I have a T-shirt somewhere. We've been testing T-shirts with the Flight Club logo, and you know the first rule about Flight Club, right? So we're not supposed to talk about it, but that's the reason.
You know? And it's a good thing. I know that was one of the first things I did. I put my registration number, but you're going to laugh at this, Greg and Matty and Brad and everybody in the chat. But when I first got my registration number, I put it on an address return label, and I had.
Hey, I know some people that did it with a permanent marker.
Yeah, my business partner, he wrote his on a piece of masking tape. So he had masking tape with a marker on it.
Actually, I still have one of them on my Femi Mini here.
Yeah, at least you did the right thing, though. Now, you know what? These stickers from Greg from Pilot Institute, they're quality stickers. I really appreciated the free stickers. I got in there right away when I heard about it. And I want to order some extras. So I don't know if your site sells them, but I really like the quality of those stickers.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried at first because we thought that some people were going to try to order a lot and kind of bug down the system. So we've limited to only one per IP address. Eventually, we might free that up a little bit to issue more of them. But we're happy. So just, Brad, send me an email and we'll send you additional stickers. Every time you go on the website, you can get up to 3 different sets of stickers. So if you have 3 different drones with 3 different numbers, we'll send you up to 3 of them with different numbers. You get 4 different designs every time that you order. And then they have different colors so you can match. Obviously, we have the pink. You know, this is our color scheme. And also what we did is we actually added there. Thanks, Matt.
There's the colors right there.
Yeah,
very cool.
And we also added an expiration date on here, and this is coming from experience. We want people to be able to look at their sticker and not have to worry if the registration is expired or not. So that really you can quickly look and say, hey, it's still registered, it's good for 3 years, and then I'm good to go fly and be legal.
Now, Greg, I have a question. Are you guys still promoting that on your website for first timers on getting the free stickers? Okay, so that's good to know for anybody in the chats that has not done it yet. Swing over to Pilot Institute.
Yep, pilotinstitute.com/free, and that will get you straight to the form that you can fill out to give us your information. Now, we do ask you for your phone number, and I want people to understand we don't make phone calls. Personally, I hate being on the phone anyway, so we don't use your phone number. We put your phone number on the sticker if somebody loses it. That's the only thing we use that phone number for. So we're not selling it to anyone, or we're not using it ourselves. It's just for that. So feel free.
And your phone number on your drone is a good thing, because I know 2 people that have lost drones, and the people actually called them and said, "Is this your drone?" And they got it back.
Yep. No, that's unless you're peeping on somebody next door, probably not a good idea. But otherwise, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I was joking.
but Greg, I know a lot of people in the chat, want to get their Part 107 licenses, and Matt does also, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that also, and how hard it is, or how easy it is, and how many questions are on the test. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, all the details. It's not an easy test, and I know you can go on Facebook and you can hear some people say, "Oh, you don't have to study, just watch this 2-hour video and then you'll be good to go." That's how we get customers every day. We have people coming in. Actually, just recently I had somebody come in and say, "I bought a free course, I failed the exam, and then here I am now learning from you guys, and scored a 95 on the exam," or whatever it was. So the exam is 60 questions. 60 questions. The FAA has a list of topics, and it's a pretty lengthy document. They post the different topics that they're going to test you on. Obviously, it's very heavy on charts and reading the airspace, but that's not it. A lot of people think that's really the only 2 topics in there. There's a lot more. There's regulation. There's new regulation that came out in January of this year. We've updated the course right away, so people had access to that regulation. And there's aeronautical decision making. There's weather information. It's lengthy. There's a lot of information that you need to know to pass that test. And in our course, we teach you a little bit of extra. We teach you how to read the charts that the FAA has for drone pilots only, how to get approval to get in the airspace. That's not on the test, but guess what? The day that you get your certificate, you have to get airspace approval. You want to know how to do this. So we actually teach you how to do this. And we teach you, there's a bunch of extra videos at the end as well for business purposes. And we also have a course actually on how to fly your drone. The FAA only requires you to pass a test, 60 questions, but there's no actual practical training. And so we created this course with 50 maneuvers. And if you're in the course, you probably tried it. And it starts with take off, go forward, come back. And it goes all the way to unit 50, where you have to do all these complex maneuvers and learn how to become a better pilot. And I've designed these based on my experience from flight training airplanes. And a lot of these maneuvers we actually do in the airplane. And now you can actually do them with your drone as well. So that's kind of our offer. We have the most detailed course in the industry, not only with videos. We have 15 hours of content, but I use 3D models. We have interactive models, so you can actually click on the chart. It builds up the airspace in 3 dimensions, and you can rotate the chart around and see what the airspace looks like, so you can get a better understanding of airspace, which is very complex. We use scenario-based training. We have unlimited practice exam at the end of the course, so you can make sure you're ready for the exam. So it's a full package. But the reason people love the course, quite frankly, is we have a community of, at the moment, 8,000 students on Facebook. It's a private community, and you can join that community and ask questions. So, I'm not 100 always on the website to answer questions, but if you have a quick question and you want an answer, well, there's a bunch of graduates that can help you on that group, and it's a very friendly bunch. And we love the culture that we've created in that group. Everybody's, welcoming, and if you have a question that you think may be stupid, people will answer. They won't ridicule you like you see on Facebook and other groups. So yeah, you've seen this, but that doesn't happen. If people do this, we actually kick them out of the group. So yeah, in short, that's kind of what we offer.
I mean, it really has me psyched up, Greg. I just maybe signed up for this class pretty soon.
I know 100% certainty I will be.
Yeah, but, and we guarantee that you pass. So this is something that we offer. If you fail the exam after taking the course and everything, we'll give you your money back on the course. That's $149, and we'll pay for your exam to retake the exam. That's $175.
Oh wow!
What a guarantee!
Yeah, we've trained 29,000 remote pilots so far. We've had about 10 failures total. 10 failures.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
Johnny tells me all the time about the people in the back room, and Eddie's been back there a long time, and he's not making faces yet. But we're not finished talking to you, Greg, but we're going to bring in Eddie, and then we'll sort of ask questions to both of you.
I have a question for Greg. So,
all right, you want to ask it now, or can I bring Eddie in?
All right, yeah, let's get Eddie in here.
Yeah, all right, Eddie. Okay,
Eddie is a 107 pilot himself, I believe.
Eddie Nunez.
Eddie Nunez, because Eddie Nunez is one of the best drone pilots in New York City. I met him at the Brooklyn drone meetup. Those guys and Herman and Lawrence are in the chat. I know that, and that was a great meetup. And I get to know Eddie. I knew him a little bit in the chats and live streams before that, but I saw Eddie fly, and the man can fly, let me tell you.
Thank you.
I'll be one of the first to admit that I'm a very conservative flyer, but when you put your bird up right off of the bat, you started heading for the Verrazano now bridge. But anyway, Eddie, welcome, and why don't you tell the viewers in the chat and us, how you got involved with drones.
Sure. So I want to say almost similar story like Greg from Pilot Institute. I saw a lot of commercials a few years ago of the Phantom 2 or the 3, like the very first ones that you have to attach a GoPro, and the drone always it was interesting but also intimidating. I didn't know what the rules were. I thought maybe I would get arrested by NYPD, local police department, for flying a drone in New York City. But one day I happened to walk into a Best Buy and they had something called a 3DR Solo. And I already had a GoPro Hero 4, I believe it was, and it was compatible with, and it was on clearance. So for $300, it came with the drone, the gimbal that attached underneath, which was usually sold separately, 2 extra batteries, and a backpack.
Nice.
So I went and I bought it immediately. Took it home, didn't even charge it up, just used whatever battery it had. Tried to fly it in my backyard, and immediately crashed and cracked all the siding on my home.
Oh, no.
So the same day I packed it all up and I took it back to Best Buy and I returned it for a full refund. I said it's defective. It doesn't fly. It's defective. But then it bothered me that I'm like, oh man, I want to fly a drone, and let me give it one more try. And I went back the next day and I rebought another the same drone, the 3DR Solo, and this time went to a park and just started flying. I just started, very conservative like you, Ray, at first. Just hovering right over me, maybe 20 feet forward, 20 feet backwards, and lo and behold, now I have, I think, a whole hanger of drones. I have an Inspire 2, I have a Phantom 4, a Mavic Pro 2, a Mavic 2 Zoom, and now, not to mention all the FPV drones. So I think, women love shoes, I love drones.
I always say it's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug.
That it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And let me ask you, how do you truthfully, how do you like the DJI FPV drone?
So it has its pros and cons, and I mentioned this a lot on previous streams that I've been on. Just recently, I'll share an example. Just recently, I went to Puerto Rico, right, on vacation, and I'll have a lot of videos coming out of that soon. And it was terrible in Puerto Rico because of the strong winds. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking for me as a pilot because it has that one camera. So I'm seeing all the vibrations from the camera from the strong winds, especially as you head against wind. In fact, I was at one portion of Puerto Rico. If anyone in the chat is familiar with Puerto Rico, it's a lighthouse in the east, I believe it is. Yeah, lighthouse in the east is called Cabo Rojo. You're on a cliff, and the winds were about 30 miles per hour. So I think it could handle it. But then there was these gusts, and I tried to do a dive in between this gap of the cliff, and the DJI FPV said gimbal, which it doesn't really have a gimbal. I guess it's a 2-axis gimbal overload, and it kicked me out of manual mode and put me back into normal mode. But because it did that, it still continued to drift because of the wind, and I was inches away from hitting that rock. So but on the other hand, though, it is a fantastic drone to have for people that want to get into FPV. It is a fantastic drone to have to fly over water, to maybe do, mountain surfing, to maybe do long range, because you have that security that you're always going to get it back, right?
Yeah.
And if you panic, you can hit that switch and it's going to hover in place. No other FPV quad will do that for you. So it has its pros and cons. It does earn a right in my hangar, and it will stay in my hangar.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. And Greg, we didn't ask you that question, and we don't want to put you on the spot, but which is your favorite drone? I know you must have quite a collection too.
I do have a collection from the tiniest one all the way to we have built a octocopter. We call it Octozilla, and we use it to carry lighting equipment to do light painting. And that thing will carry like 15 pounds of weight. I have to say, I think my favorite one is still the Inspire 2. just from an image quality, from the way that it flies. It's just an impressive bird, and it's stable. And there's just something about this drone. It's getting older now, but I just love flying it. If I go something easier, the Air 2S is my go-to. I think we have in the office every possible DJI drone you can think of, and some other brands. But the Air 2S is just for the package, for the size, for the price. You get it all. It's hard to beat this drone at this stage. So it's a great machine. I have the FPV2 as well, the DJI FPV, and I agree it's a great starter drone to get people into FPV. We have other FPV drones that we've built in the office as well. So yeah, there you go, Air 2S.
The Air 2S is my favorite also.
I gotta agree with that one.
Yep. I'm with you on that one too.
And Eddie, you fly a lot. I also flew with you up at the Rhode Island drone meetup with Mark Fisher and the Rhode Island drone meetup group, and that was a great place to fly up there.
Oh yeah, that was I think when you want to create content, or even when you want to fly, location is key. And Rhode Island is just so many different places you can fly from. And what I really truly loved about Rhode Island is such a drone friendly city. Not one complaint, not one, awkward stare from another civilian. There was actually a lot of people that were curious about the hobby. I know I was spending a lot of time with Tom. We went up there together, lens capture, and everywhere we went to fly, there was people curious about what I was doing. And Tom was right there side by side to educate that person, even show my screen what I'm doing, to kind of get that bad impression of drones and actually turn it into a good experience. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. No, I had a great time up in Rhode Island. I really did. And again, meeting everybody, and it's one of those things where I love meetups. I really do. And as some of you guys know, most of you guys know, I founded the South Florida Drone Meetup, and Matt and Brad and Johnny and Mitch also, he helped me. And that turned out to be such a successful event. And while I'm on it, let me tell everybody when it is. And we're going to have the second annual South Florida Drone Meetup on Saturday, April 2nd, 2022. So please join us. This year it's going to be in Jensen Beach, Florida. And we're going to have a good time. There's no doubt in my mind about it. And Brad, you're not on the show to tell what you're going to do for the South Florida Drone Meetup. but tell everybody. You helped us out last year, and
so I hope to be able to get myself some more coasters so we can do this again. This was from last year, or this year, excuse me. Next year we'll hopefully have coasters for everybody. I've done coasters for a lot of the YouTube channels for the folks like Ray was showing there, and Eddie and Matt. Well, I'll get y'all's logos at some point. We'll get you some coasters made. We got to come up with a new design for the one for next year. Also, I'm hoping, and I'm thinking it's going to work. I'm going to try to do these again. So we got some lanyards. Lanyards were a big hit, I think. We did have a lot of wind in Florida that day, so everybody's was doing this.
Yeah.
But I made coasters and lanyards last year, and I hope to do the same thing.
Well, we appreciate it, Brad. We really do.
They worked out very well.
Nice, big hit. People talked about them. People enjoyed getting them.
Oh yeah. Well,
and the fact that you make them up for their YouTube channels too is such a nice thing. But thank you, Brad. I want to publicly thank you. And Matty, thank you for your help. And Johnny, you're in the background there. Thank you for your help.
We got some surprises up our sleeves for round 2 next year, so you definitely won't want to miss it.
But Eddie, back to you. Now you're a Part 107, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you use your drones a lot for work, or not really?
Not really, here and there. One thing about me is I have a full-time job, and drones started as a passion, and I started because of drones, I started getting into videography and photography. So now I have a whole slew of cameras as well, and lenses, and I use it for work only through referrals. So I do a lot of commercial work in terms of like restaurants, a lot of different businesses, and they like to shoot, 2 to 3 minute videos for their website or for Instagram, social media. And I've been getting a lot of work just through word of mouth and referrals. And that's the usually I fly my drones for business, like, for one of those shoots, incorporated as maybe like a revealing shot of the location or whatever it is. But drones for me has been more of a hobby than the actual business.
So
Yeah.
Eddie, that's got to be you said 3 minute video in some cases. If it's anything like Hollywood, how long does that take you? A day, 2 days?
To do a 3 minute video, it'll take me about a few days, maybe like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I have a whole process for it. First finding the music, cutting it up, then do the color grading, color correcting, and then going back and rewatching it several times. I make the kids watch it, I make the wife watch it before I show it to the actual customer, just to get feedback and go back and continue to do adjustments. And then the customer always has some more adjustments they want to make, and then it's going back to the drawing board and just doing those tweaks.
I have a question for you, Eddie. I saw a picture. I don't know if anybody else is aware of the TV show $1 Million Listing New York.
Oh,
Does
yes.
anybody?
Yes.
Okay, I saw a picture of you with one of the realtors from that show.
Well, yeah, the actual guy, Ryan Serhant.
Yes, Ryan.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you have any upcoming work or scheduling to work with maybe that show or him in person?
This talks are in progress. Hoping to do some work with him. I got referred to him through a friend, and where he does a lot. He has a lot of listings in Manhattan. It's tough to use a drone because his listings are like the 98th floor penthouse of
high
Park
rises.
Avenue. So that's really gray area there to fly. But hoping to do some other type of work from him, maybe like from a boat, from the Hudson River, etc. Just getting revealing shots.
Yeah.
He is one of the biggest realtors in New York.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
Yeah, he has the largest listings right now. He has the listing of I think it's 432 Park. It's going for $115 million.
Yep.
Oh my Lord. Okay, nice. This is how it all starts. And before you know it, Johnny's going to be out in Hollywood. Eddie's going to be out in Hollywood, and he won't even talk to us anymore.
I know him.
Not true at all. I'll always be here.
But anyway, let me say hello to a few more people in the chat. Tom, good to see you, and Stevie Bronx.
Mark Fisher's in the house.
TV, and Mark Fisher, yeah, he's in.
We got everybody. Chris Hope
and Alan, all the way over in Ireland. Always good to see Alan. Thomas Ariel's from Ireland, and I could go on and on down the list again, but let's get back to our guests. A question that Johnny and I always ask our guests is, if you had one dream location anywhere in the world where you could fly legally, where would that location be? Greg, you want to tell us?
I want a remake of the Grand Canyon.
Mm.
The Grand Canyon is a no-brainer. It's to me the most amazing place in the world. It doesn't matter how many times I live an hour and a half away from it. It doesn't matter how many times you get out there. It's always that view. And if you've never been, you have to get to the Grand Canyon. It's just so grand. And so imagine flying a drone out there and having the ability to just get these sweeping views. It's incredible. I remember taking a family member out there and not telling them, because when you get there, you can't really see the hole until you get really, really close. So we turned to the right and kind of go along the side. And I said, now look to the left. And it just couldn't talk because it's breathtaking. And
I was in Vegas with my wife one year, and to my surprise, I says, "Honey, let's go to the Grand Canyon." She said, "Okay." I says, "We're gonna go by helicopter. Is that all right?" What? She went, and we went and saw it. And like you said, Greg, it is amazing. It is awesome. The Grand Canyon.
It makes me wonder, Greg, if you can get a waiver of some sort to be able to fly that now. I bet it would take an act of Congress, though.
Yeah, it's difficult. So flying in national parks is not an FAA regulation. It's a National Park Service regulation. They don't want you operating to and from the land. So you'd have to talk to the park superintendent. but you would need to have a really good reason to do this, such as doing some kind of study or something else. So maybe I can figure out a good study of something that we can do to fly in the Grand Canyon. But yeah, it would definitely be a dream to go flying out there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And Eddie, what about you? What's your dream location?
For me, honestly, I think it would be Alaska, especially the glaciers in
Jake
Alaska.
Sloan.
Yeah, Jake Sloan, exactly. Yeah, I watch his videos, and location is key, and that's one place that I would love to fly. A regular camera drone and an FPV drone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and people in the chat, if you have a dream location, put it in the chat, And I've been to Alaska too, I did a little seaplane tour of the glaciers when I was up there. Went up there for fishing primarily and filmed an episode of a TV show that I had. But it was another impressive place, Alaska is amazing also. Yeah.
And cold.
But
I can imagine.
you must fly for fun sometimes, right?
I do. Every Friday we have Friday Fly Day when the weather let us do it, and I take all the employees in the company and we go out to flying field and we fly and we practice our skills, because I believe it's something that's important. Plus we have fun doing it. So we always test something new, whether it's a new drone that we built or a new drone that we got to test or something. So we try to get out at least once a week. But doing what we do, we always get to fly for some reason. So it's always a joy to go out there. And every time I fly, it's for fun, even though it's for work, but it's actually for fun. So
yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Pretty cool.
And Eddie, you fly for fun a lot. I know.
Yeah.
I remember watching one of your videos. It might have been Stevie's video, and then I watched yours. I forget which order, but you guys were flying at the parachute jump at Coney Island, and I had been there like 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
But that was fun flying for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. We did an early sunrise, which was like 4 a.m. Nobody around. We got to see the sunrise, and you had the whole amusement park closed before people were there, and it was really fun to fly there. And Stevie, Stevie's a great person to fly with as well. I saw he was flying with you recently. Such a great gentleman to be with.
Oh, Stevie, yeah, he's a good guy, one of the best. And that's another thing about this whole drone community. There's so many great people. They'll bend over backwards to help you. If you have a question, all you got to do is text them, call them, and they'll be more than happy to help you.
That's this whole community is absolutely freaking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in it.
Obviously, we're in a little bind tonight, because Johnny's the co-host with me, and all we had to do was say, "Hey, Matty, can you fill in? Hey, Brad, come on." And they were right there, And I can't say enough about how great a community this is. And of course, there's some drama. I'm not just going to talk about the great things. There's some drama that goes on, and I just wish that would stop.
You're always going to have drama with the human.
Yeah,
factor.
that comes with anything when you involve people. Unfortunately,
a lot of different personalities, and that's what makes us all unique.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yep, absolutely.
Brad, I had a chance to do a little meetup with you on my drive back from Florida back to New York. And that was fun. You taught me about the James River there. You got a great place to fly in Virginia.
Oh yeah,
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, Richmond, Virginia. I'd met Al DroneFlyer here in Richmond earlier this year. We had seen each other in chat quite a bit and figured out we both lived in the same town, but we didn't know each other. And so we got together, a couple months before, the South Florida thing, but he didn't have an opportunity to come down there. But we knew you were coming back through Richmond off Interstate 95, and you were going to pass right by, and the timing worked out great. Ray stopped by with his wife and hung around for an hour or two, and we flew drones around the James River. Richmond, I've told this story before, Richmond's the only city in the United States that can have Class 5 whitewater rapids because of the way the river flows through Richmond. When we get high levels of water, it's Class 5 all the way, and I've been in them as a young man. I don't think I'd do it now, but it's pretty fun. But yeah, that was a great meetup. We had Rodney Bell there, Al, Ray, myself, and just a few spectators on the side while we were flying.
Yeah, no. I was glad, that we were able to do that. And initially I thought it was just going to be you, and then Al came and then Rodney came. And it was good seeing you guys and flying with you. But let me just tell a couple people, they were very close to the number. Everybody wants to win these stickers, but a couple of them, we got a winner. Michael Blade, congratulations.
I missed out.
All right. But anyway, no, that's a great location where you fly on the James's River, Brad.
Oh, yeah. Know? Yeah, I haven't. Al and I went back down there for a sunset, flying over the James River and having the city of Richmond off in the background. Sometimes has some amazing colors and effects. I mean, just like anywhere. And just like what Eddie said earlier, location is key, and just even the weather creates such a beautiful landscape sometimes with the sky and the colors. And so Richmond is definitely pretty at night. I would say don't go downtown too many places, but you might want to be packing, but it's not that bad. I'm just teasing. But great.
Eddie, are you going to spin up?
I don't think so, because I have a baby on the way.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, she can have the baby in Austin, Texas.
Greg, do you know what it's going to be?
A boy.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah.
Eddie,
Eddie
right.
Jr.
Eddie, you not having the baby?
I added a DJI Mavic Mini to the baby registry.
Okay.
I would have put DJI's whole website on there.
That's good. That's great. Yeah. And Brad, when we were flying, you were flying the Air 2S drone like an FPV drone.
Yeah.
I was amazed. How do you do that?
Well, the story on that, and I think I've told this a couple of places, that was probably one of my first flights with that drone. I had just unboxed it with Al Duran, I don't know, a week or two before, and we didn't fly it. We just did an unboxing in Hollywood Cemetery, which is in Richmond, Virginia, where a bunch of, they call it Hollywood Cemetery, but it's not Hollywood. But anyway, we unboxed the drone there, and then I finally got to fly it that day that you were coming up, and for some reason or another that day, the drone was not staying locked in to follow me mode with the camera. It somehow or another it went to FPV mode, and the lens was flying around, and I was taking the drone and flying it. I had it in cine mode or tripod mode, whichever way you want to call it, but it was also in the sport mode for some reason. So somehow or another it was giving me a few problems, but it was flying really good. Yeah. And I know you called it out. You said it looks like an FPV drone, because I was flying it all back and forth, up and down. Unfortunately, I lost the footage off of the memory card because the card corrupted on me somewhere along the lines, and I was trying to recover my cached video on my phone. So I'm gonna try to get that pulled up at some point and see what it looks like. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. I've actually tried to recreate that a little bit manually by setting in FPV mode, and it's fun to do. I'd rather do something like that with goggles on, maybe, as opposed to flying it with a little 6-inch cell phone. But
yeah, well, we were supposed to. We did hear rumors that we were supposed to get an update for the Air 2S that would allow to work with goggles. And from what I hear, it's still a possibility, but nothing in the works yet.
So, I know I've heard both sides of it. I've heard some people say that now we're probably not going to get it because they're waiting for the next drone to come out. But I hope we get it. I would love to see that.
And Matty, you went over to the FPV side recently, and you picked it up pretty quick. You're a pretty good FPV pilot already.
Thank you.
Want to talk about that a little bit?
It was pretty simple. I bought a little brushed motor FPV kit. I said, you know what the hell? Let me try it. because I've been talking smack to all my camera buddies that did decide to go FPV flying. So I said, what the hell? It's only $150. So I gave it a shot. And after that, that's all it took. I said, oh crap, I'm in trouble. And then that's when the purchasing of other equipment came. And now I'm in.
Yeah. You know what? We met up 2 weeks ago in Florida there at Lakeside Park. You had your bag, you know. You had all your FPV stuff too, and I was surprised to see that.
It got pretty windy there, but I'll tell you what, there is a rush and an adrenaline of FPV flying that I never experienced before until I hit this. It's unreal. And Eddie knows exactly that hit because he flies freestyle quads, and I'm moving up, going to get a 5-inch, but for now, even what I have is the adrenaline is crazy through those goggles.
I have a question for Greg. I see I think that's a ProTech 25 or 35 right behind you, right? Yeah. What do you prefer to fly in terms of FPV?
You know, I'm somewhat new to FPV. I've been trying to learn. I've got some employees that create amazing drones. One of my main guys, Don, we call him the Quad Doctor. He fixes pretty much every drone out there, and so he's been building a couple for me. So I've been trying all different styles. This one is kind of interesting to fly. I find it a little bit heavy. I have another one right here. This is the Aquaphobe, I think it's called. And this one I like a lot better. It flies really, really well. So I've been improving my skills by learning with my employees, and it's kind of exciting. It like you said, Matty, it's kind of a different perspective, a different rush. It's almost boring flying anything else after that.
I got to admit, my Air 2S has become a bit of a paperweight in the past month or so. You know, I feel so bad for it. I really do.
What's funny was before, when I was going to go fly with my Mavic, I will charge up about 5 or 6 batteries. Now when I fly my Mavic after learning FPV, one battery, I can go like to 6 different locations. I'm only up for like 3 minutes. I get the shot and I'm down. And anything more than 3 minutes feels like an eternity.
So I get this one too, which is designed to hold a 360 camera, and the drone fully disappears. And it's actually quite amazing. You can fly this thing and it just fully disappears. I don't remember.
You put the naked 360 camera in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Insta 360. The 1R. The 1R.
Yeah, the 1R. Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest pet peeve with that specific, I was gonna get that FPV drone, but you have to be really careful where you land because the lens of the camera protrudes out. So one hard landing, you're gonna have that on your feed all the time on your video.
Yeah, we have a blanket that we carry with us that's pretty large that we can land onto. So I'm not allowed to fly just yet until I get more proficient.
Makes sense.
I let Don fly.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Well, I'll tell you, man. One of these days I'm going to try it, but I'm not ready for it just yet.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to get hit by the bug at spin up. Somebody's going to force you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I know
Doc Murdoch's out to get everybody at spin up.
Oh yeah,
that's his plan.
You know, it's a whole different perspective looking through those goggles.
It is.
But anyway, let me say hello to Lloyd, the grumpy vlogger. He's in the chat now. How you doing, Lloyd?
Hey, Lloyd.
And it's one of those things where I just love drone flying. You know, I fly for fun primarily, and I can't say enough about it. I promote the hobby as much as I can.
Yeah.
You know, to people, you know, just friends or new people I meet. I said, do you fly drones? Do you fly drones yet? I say, yet. And it's funny because yesterday I was flying down on a dock on the bay in Patchogue, New York. And, you know, I'm flying the Air 2S, and this old couple comes walking down with a walker. You gotta picture this. They got a walker, you know, but they're looking at me. They're watching, you know. And at that point, the drone was only up about 30 feet. And I said, I'm gonna film these guys. So I start filming them, you know. And I said, wave to the camera. I'm gonna add you to the video. So they waved to the camera, you know. And then the guy, he wanted to know how much it cost, you know. And I told him. He says, maybe I'll try that. And he had to be in his late 70s, you know.
Mhm.
But I promote it as much as I can, and I hope everybody else does also.
It's a great hobby to pass along. It really is. It's a
Yeah.
great stress reliever. Great stress reliever, and for people, you know, I don't know about anybody else, but for me and the crap that I've been through in my life, this has pulled me out of the biggest hole you could possibly imagine when it comes to my actual lifestyle. And for that and the people in it, I could not be happier.
And Matty, I hear this at least once a week from people that say that flying drones changed their lives. They were in depression, they were in whatever it is. We also have people that come in and said, I have a disability, I can't fly an airplane, but guess what? I'm in a wheelchair, but I can go and actually get in the air and fly. And that's the best. That's
amazing.
The absolute best. Yeah.
It's the best hobby in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, it's one of those things where I had bought a very inexpensive toy drone, and that's how I got involved. You know, it cost $63. I have it sitting back here. It was called the Spy Striker, and that thing was so hard to fly, and it would crash, and it set me back. I says, I'll never learn how to fly a drone, you know, and you know, I didn't fly for about 3 years until I saw a Phantom 4 being flown. And once I saw that Phantom 4 being flown, and the guy took the time to show me how easy it was to fly, the following week I went out and bought one.
Ray, a little story on that drone that you have, that Striker, that same exact one, the same model, same box, same everything, was the drone that my mother bought me and my son for Christmas 5 years ago. And that is what started this entire addiction of mine, is that goofy little Striker drone.
There you go. I know. How cool
my son never flew it. He never flew it. He never even got to hold the controller. I took over. And I crashed it and killed it like 3 days later. And then I just started buying toy drones online like it was like they were going on sale. And that's back when they had the old crap non-altitude hold drones, you know, the ones where you had to actually manually fly the throttle. And from there, it just stepped up. So I praise those little toy grade ones, because that's what got me started.
Yeah, I know. And I keep saying I'm going to start flying my Phantom 4 again, you know, and I don't, because I fly the Air 2S primarily, you know. And as you know, down in Florida, I got the Mavic Mini. You know, I flew that when I flew with you. But you know, there's so many different choices of drones that you can fly. Sometimes it's hard to decide which one. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets even worse when you get into FPV. Trust me.
I can only imagine. You know.
I have one quick question for Greg again. Greg, so I noticed on your site you actually also teach people how to fly actual aircraft, like airplanes, right? Have you had a student convert from a drone pilot to an actual aircraft pilot?
All the time.
Oh,
all the time. That's why I call it the gateway drug. I laugh about it, but it's true. And you know, and on the serious side, we need to continue educating the younger generation of people, because they will be the pilots of tomorrow. We have a shortage of aircraft pilots, and it wasn't pretty about 5 years ago, but I can tell you now, as the pandemic ends and as we have people flying, the airlines are hurting for pilots, and it's not a career that kids decide to choose anymore. And we need to get kids into drones, because they will be the ones that go and fly airplanes. So I've made this is one of my life goal, is to get as many kids involved and give them that passion to get either a drone. It doesn't matter if it's a drone or whatever it is, something that flies, because I think it's important. But yeah, we get people all the time. They take the Part 107 and they say, you know, I love that. It's like I'm addicted to learning, and I love the way that the videos are set up. So they just sign up for the private pilot and then get their private pilot certificate.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
that's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's great. It is.
I'll tell you what, the kids these days need drones. They need something.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, when they buy drones, they don't have money for drugs, so it's perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, let me just add this, you know, everybody make sure you subscribe to everybody's channel in the chat, and obviously the people on the panel here, because sometimes you think you're subscribed and you're not subscribed, or YouTube unsubscribed you somehow. So just be sure to, check out everybody's channel, support their channel, and we try to let it go to about an hour, and we usually show videos, but today we just didn't have I wouldn't say the time, but the knowledge. I was just afraid that if I started showing videos, we'd lose the stream. It would be a total disaster. So I was just lucky enough to get the pick a number question up there.
You did great, Ray. You did really well.
But anyway, listen, thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Eddie. You were a great guest. Thank you, Brad and Matt.
Absolutely.
And I guess we'll say our goodbyes before I say the different live streams that'll be on during the week. Greg, if you want to say goodbye.
I really appreciate the time. This was actually one of the most fun live show that I've ever done. So thanks for having me. You guys are a fun bunch.
I have to have you back.
John. And Eddie?
Yes, agreed. Thank you for having me on your show. I watch all the time. So great panel today, great discussions, and great meeting the Pilot Institute as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I really wish Johnny was here, He's in the chat, which is good, and we miss you, Johnny. We really do. But Brad and Matt stepped up, and we did. I think we pulled up a pretty good show.
I think so.
Ray. Anytime.
Brad, if you want to say your goodbyes.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And we just want to wish Johnny and his family and all the folks who have been affected by the Hurricane Ida, prayers and wishes, and hope everybody can make it through this. And we can definitely rebuild things. It's family that we've lose. That it's hard, but thankfully this one didn't take as many lives as Katrina and other ones previous to them in the area. So that's been a good blessing. So just thank you again for having me.
And thank you, Brad and Matty.
Thank you, Ray, for giving me the opportunity. I want to actually thank Johnny for doing the same, because I'll tell you what, he's a tough set of shoes to fill. He does an absolute fantastic job on this show, and it's getting better and better every week. You guys have amazing guests, and I do want to tell Johnny we love you, bud, and stay safe, please. And Brad, you as well. Brad is actually traveling to Louisiana. To help in relief with them over there. So please, we'll pray for you, and please be safe. And thank you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, thank you very much. And like I said before, check out the channels, everybody's channel. We got Bill Coast to Coast Drones coming on in a little while. Be sure to go in there. And Johnny has put together a phenomenal drone live stream guide, and if you ever want a copy of that, you could email the flyforfunshow@gmail.com, and we'll get there. You go, Matt's got it right there.
I keep it taped right next to my desk.
It lists not all the live streams, but a lot of the drone live streams are listed.
Yeah,
and it's hard to keep track. It really is.
It is.
But everybody who has a live stream appreciates the support. And Greg, I know you got that show called Pixel. We could have plugged that a little bit, And when is that on?
So we have our own channel for that. So it's called Pixel Drone Show. We interview big wigs, I'm going to call them, in the industry. And so we've been able to connect with great people that make changes to regulation. And so it's a bit more on the commercial side, but it's always really interesting discussions. If you're interested in where the industry is going, we take it pretty seriously, and we bring the people that make changes, and that really helped me, quite frankly, finding more information about what's going on in the world and creating these great contacts. So that's something I would definitely recommend.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so guys, get out there, fly for fun, fly safe, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.